Hey, Zoe here. I'm back today with my monthly subscription kit reviews. Today I am back with part 2 of my hip kit. If you haven't seen any of my videos before, part 2 is where I show how I used the whole kit. Do check out part 1 if you haven't already, and then you'll see what I actually had before I took it to pieces, essentially. So, paper-wise, this is what I have left. Look it. It's this is the biggest piece of paper I have left. That's maybe 4x6-ish. I absolutely annihilated it. I took apart every last piece. I am delighted with how much of the paper I used. I most decidedly killed this kit, in my personal opinion, or at least the paper aspect of it. I didn't use quite so much of the Daily Flash October afternoon alphas. I did use them. There's just so many alphas in this kit that I've ended up with quite a lot left, but they're absolutely gorgeous, so I'm going to be more than happy to incorporate these into my stash, and they will definitely get used up on other things. I almost killed the Summertime Pop Drops by October afternoon. Almost. There's 54 enamel stickers on there and I almost used them up. Again, I almost used up the Pillow Puffs, again from October afternoon. Just a couple of pieces left there. I'll just incorporate both into my stash and they'll be gone in no time. That's no great hardship. I have 5 Project Life cards left out of the whole bunch. These are just the ones I didn't use. I'm hoarding that one because my daughter loves flamingos and I have quite a few pictures of her with flamingos, so I'm going to use it when I get round to scrapping those. So that's all I have left of those. With the chipboard, I have quite a bit left actually, but I'm quite happy to incorporate this into my stash. It'll get used there eventually. I will say, I had a devil of a time getting these out and with the sticky backing on them, which is actually good because I usually remove the stick anyway so that I can move them around my layout. But yeah, they were a devil to get out. But yeah, I'm just going to pop those into my stash and I'll use them probably next summer now because we're just coming into autumn here in the UK. So yeah, I'll probably use them next summer, or if I carry on scrapping summer things, I'll use them then. As I said in video 1, I actually already had this open, so I do have the pack that I got in the kit still unopened. But I used quite a few of these anyway from this opened pack. I used a bunch of the Adorn, but you get so many in this that they're just going to go on forever anyway. So they're one of my favourite thickers actually, so I'm more than happy for those to go back into my stash. I still have a few A's and a few O's and a few U's, so there's definitely some words I can make there. Happy days. I used a fair portion of the, oh, it's a bit of scrap, a fair portion of the LE Studio paper pack, die cut paper pack. I have a few left. Surprisingly, I didn't use the hearts, which is funny because they were my favourite bit. I don't know why I didn't end up using those. But they're super versatile pieces. They'll go into my stash nicely and get used up in no time. I have a few of the wood veneer pieces. Again, pretty versatile pieces bar the pizza. So I'll use those in my stash, no doubt. Probably not the pizza. I don't eat pizza. Ooh. And I have 3 of the Heidi Swap wood veneer pieces left. So all in all, I think I did pretty well. It's, you know, I've got a few bits and pieces left, but nothing too major and nothing that's gonna, you know, take over my craft room. And considering how much stuff you actually get in a hip kit, I'm pretty pleased with that. So anyway, I will show you what I did. I made 12 by 12 layouts and 1 9 by 12 Project Life spread. So I'll start with that first. This is my Project Life spread. This was about the week before my son's 2nd birthday, so it's a lot of baking and that sort of thing. My other son was actually in Amsterdam this week, so he's not featured in this because he was off having a whale of a time while we were at home baking. Something all kinds of wrong with that, isn't there, really, when your 10-year-old's off to Amsterdam? As ever, I will show flat shots at the end, so I apologise if I'm moving a little bit too quickly. Said 10-year-old was actually 10 today, and I've had my body weight in cake, and I'm a little bit hyper from the sugar. So, yeah, that's my Project Life spread. This one is my daughter. We took a trip to an ice cream farm for my birthday last month, and I got to use the ice cream van, which I would never get to use that. And technically it's incorrect because it was a farm, it was not a van, but I'm going with it. Just a little mixed media there. And one of the journaling cards and some of the papers. And one of the wood veneers. This one is my son. This was actually taken last summer, but I hadn't gotten around to scrapping it. So I live in Wales. We don't really get summer. Summer is more of a slightly less damp and cold than the rest of the year. So summer pictures are kind of few and far between. So I tried my best to pull what I could summer-wise together. So it's just a nice, simple and clean layout for this one. Nothing too taxing. I'm sure it took me maybe 15 minutes to throw that one together. Just some layered papers there. I will say, I did pull in, I had the 6x6 crepe paper poolside pad, so I brought that in to extend the stash, and also I had the crepe paper die cut pack and the flat sticker sheets, and I brought those in myself to extend the kits out, so that, you know, I should have mentioned that. And obviously the white paper, the white cardstock I pulled from my stash as well. With this one I tried to show that it didn't have to be summer themed. I wanted to, and I've actually done it with a few of the layouts in this kit, they're not summer themed, just to show that, you know, you don't have to. You can do things a little bit differently if you want to, and the kits are quite versatile should you want to be more versatile with them. So this is just me. I use the chipboard glasses, which I suppose technically are sunglasses, but whatever, I'm going with it. And some more of the chipboard and the dots, enamel dots. This one I actually scrap lifted from myself. I did a similar layout to this, again with my son actually, a few months ago, and I scrap lifted it for myself because I like that composition. I cut up some of the journaling cards with dies, nesting dies, to make these squares. My journaling is just around the outside here. It's quite subtle, but there is some stencil work behind all of this, but it's terribly subtle. So I don't know if my camera will pick it up, but hopefully the flat shots will towards the end. So yeah. This one was oh my gosh, this one nearly killed me. I could not get this one to come together at all. It just, oh, it was not working. The cutlery was the wood veneer pieces, and I used embossing powders to give them this tarnished metal effect. But yeah, gosh, I really struggled with this one. I really did. I don't hate it. I don't. I just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't love it, and it was hard. But you know, ever honest. I will always show what I made, whether I like it or not. This one, I actually have a process video up on my channel. I'll link it. And I only realised as I was doing the voiceover for this that I've given this fish bubbles, and I've given this fish what can only be breaking wind bubbles, because oh my gosh, why did I do that? But it's going to be a talking point, so I'm going to keep it that way anyway. Again, using some of the chipboard, some of the puffy stickers, a tag from my stash, and just bulking it out with the white paper, white cardstock again. This one is me, and again showing that it didn't have to be summer themed, and it's a bit of a running joke between my friends and my husband that I very, very rarely smile in photographs. I just don't. They'd like to say that I have resting bitch face, which is lovely and undoubtedly true. So it's just a little story about that. Those stickers were from the crepe paper sticker set, but they came from my stash. And just some stencil work in the background here. Again, layering. So yeah, this one I'm starting to come down to scraps now. I didn't have any full pieces left, I don't think, so I'm starting to layer a little bit more to try and make it work. It's just a little story about we went fruit picking for my birthday also, as well as the ice cream farm, and it's just a little story about the children eating more than they put into the baskets. Yeah, I quite like this one actually. It's not really my style per se, but yeah, I quite like how it turned out. Again, down to scraps now. Just one of my youngest in his sister's shades in the back of our car. I used the scooter. He's not in a scooter, it doesn't fit, but I used it anyway. I don't mind how it looks. And you can see I just layered with some cotton and some mixed media in the background there. Yeah, I quite like it. It's quite bright and definitely summery, this one, definitely. This one, this one I thought I'd come down to just tiny scraps, and then I found this on the floor. So this one I put together having found this. It's about my son's 10th birthday, which is actually today, and I just made this today. So yeah, can't you tell? I've been doing mixed media. I'm absolutely covered in gesso and ink and all sorts of things. So it's just a nice simple one, this one for him. Just to talk about how proud I am, I guess. And again, I wanted to show that the kit didn't have to be summery, so I scrapped my husband. I have a process video for this one as well. I will be putting that up in the next few days, so be sure to check that out if you're interested in how I put this together. It's just quite simple, but I didn't want to go all embellished because, you know, my husband is a very manly man, and I thought I'd keep it pretty simple for him. So yeah, I really love this one. I absolutely love it. I've done a lot of mixed media in the background there. A lot of layering and cottons and stuff. So although it looks very simple, there's a lot of pieces to it. I really do love that one. And again, you wouldn't actually imagine that that came from the same kit as, say, this one, would you? It's a totally different feel. Although I must admit, these papers did come from my stash. They weren't included in the kit, and I did borrow from my stash for a couple of these papers because I wanted to keep it quite tonal. So yeah, finally made with just scraps and a curly piece of paper from the gesso. That's the final piece. As you can see, that was literally just scraps of paper that I cut into strips, sort of stuck down, covered in gesso, and added some ink and mixed media and threw mess at it. And again, this is my daughter on the same berry picking expedition that we went on for my birthday. And again, I quite like this. It's a little more embellished than I generally go in my usual style, but yeah, I quite like how it turned out. It's fun. It's a bit different for me. So yeah, all in all, I'm pretty happy with how many layouts I got, and how well the kit went, how well I used the kit, and honestly, I really did love the kit. I really did. Whilst I would say that a couple of these are not my cup of tea, that's just purely what I came up with on the day. The kit itself is absolutely my style and my preference. You know, I really do like the kit, so absolutely check them out if you're looking for, you know, a jam-packed kit that's, you know, full of colour and just really fun. They're really fun kits. So thank you so much for watching. As I said, I will put a couple of process videos up in the next week of a couple of these layouts, and there's one already up now. I will include links down below and over on my blog. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!